original Xbox. Here we go.
Alright, so what we got here is some shots of a thrift shop find I got. It's an original Xbox. I paid about $7 for it. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to expose the screws that are underneath the stickers so we can remove them. You can either pry up the sticker like I'm showing you here, or you can cut through the sticker and have access to the screws. Alright, now that we got the stickers pulled off, we're going to remove the little rubber tabs over the other screws. And just cut through the other sticker for access. Alright, and there's the screws. We're going to pull them out with a Torx bit. There are 6 screws on the bottom. Alright, after removing the screws, you can gently lift up on the top of the system and it should open up. Looks pretty gross in there. Not too bad, but it's pretty gross. Alright. You look down in there, you can see the hard drive and the DVD drive. Pretty grimy and dusty in there. Alright, so I'm taking a smaller size Torx bit on an extension to remove the screws from the inside. That easy to get them out. Gently move the ribbon cable out of your way, pull out the other screws. I'm going to try and lift the DVD drive out, see if I can get some access to the cable in the back. There it goes. And disconnect it from the DVD drive and the hard drive. And carefully lift up the DVD drive caddy. Don't want to pull it too hard. I'm going to disconnect this power cable after I slide it out from the little clamp thing there. And there are 4 Phillips head screws holding that hard drive in place. Pull those out. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it's Phillips. Alright, now the hard drive is separated from the caddy. Hey, looks like somebody might have replaced this hard drive at one point. A piece of any static film in there. Alright, now we got the power disconnected from the hard drive. I'm going to set that to the side. Now we can lift out the DVD drive. Finish disconnecting its power from the board. There we go. It's a little dirty too. Yuck. Alright, I'm going to pull this ribbon cable out. And it's pretty dusty and grimy in there. Next we're going to pull out all the Phillips head screws that are in the bottom holding the motherboard to the shell. There's a bunch of them. Once they're all disconnected, you gently lift up on the motherboard, disconnecting cables as you go. Pull up on the power supply. Should come free. There's a couple screws on the power supply side too. What I'm trying to do is pull the controller port, memory card port out of the front. There we go. Look at that. Got the motherboard out. Next is the fan. It just comes right out. A little bit of wiggling. There it goes. Oof, that's nasty. Now what I'm doing here is I'm pulling the cover off of the controller port, so I have a little more access. I want to do a complete teardown of this shell so we can get it clean. Notice the RF shield's already been removed. I did that off camera. It's just little tabs. You pull up on the little metal tabs that are holding it to the plastic. On the front of the power button, there's a little tab you can push in. Right at the bottom, same thing all the way across. You just push down on it, and the front separates. Look at all that dust coming off of that thing. Ugh. Alright, finally got it free. It's the power plug wire. Alright, now we're going to pull the RF shield off the top. It's the same way for the bottom. Just lift up on the tabs that are holding it to the plastic there. You only have to lift up like 1 or 2 per tab there, or per plastic piece. Once you have that, it's not too hard to pull out. It just lifts right out. So you just kind of pry it up a little bit. And then once you can get a good angle on it to pry it up, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Just make sure you take your time, do a good job. There we go. See there? You can do that on the all the plastic tabs with metals pushed in, and gently lift up as you go. It's not too big a deal if you bend it, but it's a pain in the butt to get it lined back up. Alright, now that all the tabs are lifted up, we just pull it out. Here's the DVD drive. We're going to open it up and see how bad it really is. It has 4 Phillips head screws on the bottom. There we go. Now we got all the screws out. You gently lift up on the top. And there it goes. Oh, look! It's a little dirty in there. Cool, I got a free DVD, Broken Arrow. It's not a terrible movie. It's in pretty good shape. Alright. Look at all this dust and grime in there. It's not the worst I've seen, but it's pretty bad. And when you lift up on the bottom, if it's never been taken apart, sometimes the daughter board will stick to the metal shield on the bottom. So just be careful when you're doing that so you don't disconnect any of the wires in there. You can see there's a couple ribbon cables and some wires. You just want to be real careful pulling that apart. Alright, there we go. Now, what you want to do with this is gently press it back into place. There's 2 little plastic tabs that it locks into. There we go. Yeah, I know it seems counterproductive because we're going to be cleaning it anyways, but trust me, it's easier to have it on there. Alright. Alright. Now I'm going to pull the sticker off the top of the Xbox. I like to use glue gun. Just take a little paper towel, put some glue gun on there, rub it into the sticker. And then I usually let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes, just so it gets nice and soft. And It works pretty good. I take a little flat blade and I start peeling it up around the edges real gently. Try not to scuff up your system. And you can do that real easily if you mess up. But if you go slow and take your time to do it right, you can get the sticker off in one whole piece. Right, look at this. Oh, almost got it. And there it is. Got the sticker off in one piece. That makes it so much easier. And then I just get a little more glue on a towel and wipe it down, get all that sticky nastiness off there. There we go. Oh yeah, that is so much better. There we go. No more sticky grossness. Alright, now when I wash my shells and stuff, I just use regular dish soap. And I'm going to do a little different this time from the last video I did. I'm going to do it with a running wash. What that is I just run the water, squirt a little soap on there, and use a toothbrush to scrub it down. This works fine if you're not under like a drought warning or anything like that, but if you have plenty of water, don't worry about it. It's a little bit quicker than filling a sink and scrubbing each piece individually like that. You just run the water and go, because it'll rinse clean as you're scrubbing. You set that to the side. You do the same thing with the bottom of the DVD shell here. Just make sure you get into all the little nooks and crannies, because dust loves to hide in there. Dust and dirt, those are the enemies. You gotta get them out. Alright, here's the hard drive caddy, and DVD caddy. And get those scrubbed out. They've got a lot of dust and little cracks and stuff. Same thing, just squirting a little soap on there. Getting in there with the brush, getting all the little cracks and everything. It's just gross in there. Alright, one of the things that I forgot to point out while I was doing this is if you flip it over like this, there's a couple of spots in the corners that are really tough to get into. Just kind of just roll the brush a little bit and get down in there. You see me doing it there. You just press down on it and kind of turn your wrist a little bit and turn the brush into the corner just so the bristles can break up whatever's in the corner. And then when it's done, just rinse it clean. It's no big deal. We'll do the same thing on the on the other caddy here. Just taking my time, getting into all the little cracks and everything. There's a lot of buildup in those little cracks, the little corners and whatnot. There we go. Starting to get there. Good deal. Up next is the RF shielding. There is like a little foam pad thing in there, but I allow enough time for my stuff to dry, so it's a non-issue for me. You can take it out if you want. I just find it easier to leave it. And when you're doing the RF shield, make sure you get into all the little vent slots, because the dust loves to live in there. And it is gross on this one. Just take your time. Make sure you get in the front where the controller ports are and everything too. Because again, dust just loves it in there. And take the sprayer, rinse it off real good. The key when you're using water to wash stuff like this is just allowing it enough time to dry, because water will kill it real quick if it's still inside when you're done. Top half of the RF shield, same thing, squirt a little soap, scrub it down with a toothbrush. Now on this one it's a little bit different because it has little fins. It doesn't really matter too much if you bend them, but it's easier if you don't. You just take the brush and go through and just gently press into it and scrub it, because there's a lot of dust on this one in between the top and where the fins are. Rinsing her down, almost done. Few pieces left. Alright, bottom half of the shell, same deal. Running water, squirt some soap in, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it. Yeah, I do not recommend doing it this way if you're in a drought area. I'll show you another way to clean systems on another video that I do when water is an issue. Make sure you get in all those little thin things on the back. It's just so bad. It collects so much dust. And just take your time and get in there real good. And if you're worried about the stickers, it's okay. The soap and water won't hurt them. Alright, now that we got that done, I like to take some magic eraser and just go over the top. Any little scuffs or scratches out of the surface makes a big difference for your final product. And be careful not to rub too hard, because if you do, a magic eraser is like really fine sandpaper. It will get rid of the texturing. So just go lightly, scrub it good. Make sure you get all the little mar marks and stuff out of it. And it'll look 100 times better when we're done. Alrighty, what else we got there? That looks good. Alright. Back to the sink, running water, spray it down, get all that dust and stuff off there. I just scrub it the same way I would do everything else, with soap and toothbrush, and getting all the little cracks and crevices. Just do a real good job. I mean, just take your time, get in there, and try not to miss anything, because it collects dust. Here's our DVD drive. I'm manually opening it. I'm using isopropyl alcohol. What I'm going to do is get it in a squirt bottle, like a little cheap spray bottle. Spray it around all over. Because what that'll do is it'll help the dust kind of stick to my Q-tip when I run it through. I just go in there, and you're not going to see it on the camera right now, but I change Q-tips pretty often when I do this. Alright, and when you get in there, there's the little tracks that the tray likes to run right in. Get in there, don't worry about getting all the grease out, because you can replace the grease later. Ooh, so gross. Alright, same deal. You can see how it's all nice and shiny and wet from the alcohol there. And I like using this because it evaporates fairly quickly, so even if I don't wipe it all out, it'll be dry by the time I get done putting it back together. Oh, that's so nasty. Alright. Next I'm going to do the edge of the tray itself. That's a really bad spot on these things for collecting dust. Look at this. Just nasty. Get back in the ring a little bit. Fun fact, that inner ring is for mini DVD size. Kind of like what they used in the GameCubes. I'm not saying you can play GameCube on Xbox, but that's what that is. Alright. I'm going to flip it over and get on the back side of the cracks and crevices for the top portion of the DVD drive. Looking pretty good. Much better. Not too much left in here. Just take your time, get it down in everything that you can reach. Ew, so gross. And if you have it, use canned air after you're done wiping it down, and that'll help evaporate the alcohol faster, and then you can blow out whatever's left inside. Alright. This is a bit closer shot here. Still getting down in that crack there. There's so much grime and everything in there. Alright, now I'm wiping off the grease from the rails. It's just regular old drive grease. I'm getting it all out of the drive here. And once it's all out, what I do is I just put fresh grease in, and I slide the laser back and forth about a dozen times or so, just so it's running smooth. And then I also like to put a little bit of grease on the slides for the tray itself. We're going to lift the daughter board up. Be careful not to lose any of your wires. It's not in too bad a shape. We're gonna hit it up a little bit. Some canned air. Alright, now we're going to clean the laser. I like to use just regular glass cleaner. Just put a little bit on a Q-tip, wipe it gently, don't press down on that laser. Then flip it over and use the dry side to dry it off. I guess you could use any ammonia-based glass cleaner. That's what I do. the excess Windex and wipe out the tray one more time. Hit it with some canned air. There we go. All the little bunnies out of there that are left. Shouldn't be too much left by now. Alright, this is the motherboard and the power board. I'm going to hit it with some canned air. Look at all that. Oh, so gross. If you're sensitive to dust and allergens, make sure you're wearing a dust mask. I don't always, but sometimes it's just a nice little extra. Alright, make sure you take some time and get all over the power supply and the heat sinks. Because with the heat sinks and power supply, they just like to collect a lot of dust. We're going to do the same thing on the back. Just hit it with some canned air. Now, I always recommend using a fresh can if you can. Alright, canned air on the fan. This thing is nasty. Oh, that's bad. Oh, so gross. Yeah, I should have been wearing a mask for this part. It was so dusty. Oh, so bad. Alright, look at this. It left a ring in the pattern of the fan. I'm hitting it up a little more with the canned air, getting the backside. And that's not all we're going to do to it. The other thing I like to do is I like to use some alcohol on a Q-tip and rub down on and in between each of the little fins on the fan itself. Just rub down everything you can get to. I do the center, I do the fins, everything. Just to get any extra dust out of there that we can. Alright, now I'm going to do the fins. I won't make you watch all of it. Alright, got the fins done. Went through a couple different Q-tips. We're going to hit it one more time with the dust off. It's canned air. Alright, looking a lot better now. Oh, that's so much better. There we go. Alright, now putting the armor shield back into the bottom half of the shell, you just press it in. Get it in there all the way. And then you can go back in and push the tabs down. We're putting the power button back together that we took off the front. I'm sorry I didn't record how to take that all the way apart. That's the same thing as putting it together, just in reverse. It's pretty simple. Alright, now when you put the power button back and the controller ports back in place, it just snaps in. There's these little plastic feet things that it locks into. You'll feel it when it locks in. It kind of pops a little bit. Alright. Next we're going to put in the motherboard and the power supply. I've got the control ports attached to the motherboard here. I'm sliding them back into position as I put the boards back in. They just kind of snap in. There are screws that hold them in as well. I don't think I recorded that, but there are a couple screws there. Excuse me. Line everything back up with the AV and power lined up and snap back in place there. I've got these little metal tabs that help hold it there. And now to put the dozens and dozens of screws back. There are so many screws in this thing, I don't know why. I don't think they're that necessary, but there are a lot of screws. Once you have them put back in place, it's time to put the screws back in the controller ports. And again, they're Phillips. Now we plug the power button back into the motherboard. Okay. Get the fan back into place. It just snaps back in. And a little bit of a problem getting it to line back up, but once it did, it just snapped right in. And then plug it back into the motherboard.
Okay.
Alright. Now this is the ribbon cable here. Which end you plug in. Sometimes I do it backwards and have to take it back out and put it back in. Like I'm doing right now. And I'll fix it in a minute. So anyways, the ribbon cable will feed into the back of the DVD drive caddy like that. Next, putting the DVD drive back together so we can go back in the caddy. The flatter piece on the bottom first. Just line it up. And flip it back over and put the top piece on. And you put the 4 screws back in the bottom. Now, one of the things I didn't show was re-greasing the worm gear and the slides for the tray. It's pretty easy. You just put a little white lithium grease in there, move it back and forth, and just make sure everything's running right. Alright, let's plug the power back in. And ribbon cable back in. Alright, now we got that all plugged in. Next we have the DVD drive and the DVD drive caddy. Or not DVD, the hard drive caddy. I'm going to slide the power wires back in that little holder clamp thing there. They slide right in. And then line the caddy up. Back into place. Careful when you're pushing it in, you don't want to knock any of the stuff on the power supply loose. Alright, and here's the hard drive. Plug the power into that. And the ribbon cable. In place.
Okay.
And there's a little tab on the back of the caddy there that you can slide the ribbon cable into. Now I didn't put the screws back in the hard drive because I was thinking I might put a different one in it later on. So I'm just thinking ahead and trying to save some steps later. There are 4 screws that hold it in place. Here's the top half of the shell. And we're putting the RF shield back in there. Pretty straightforward. You just line it up, slide it in, press down, and then you bend the tabs back into place. That'll hold it in place pretty securely. And here's how to put the tabs back. You just take a little flathead, push them down, and that's it. Look at that. How easy is this? Boom. There it is. A couple more to go and then we're done. We'll put the top back on, we'll put the screws in. Alright. There's the RF shield. Alright, let's put this back together. And just slide it back on. Put Doesn't take a whole lot of pressure. Just press down on it a little bit. And it should snap right back into place. There it is. Nice and solid. Now we're going to put the 6 screws back in the bottom. This is 6 long Torx bit screws. There's the 4 in the corners and the 2 under the stickers. Now after you put the screws in, you put the rubber feet back in place.
Okay.
Just like this. Alright. Now, when I'm done with cleaning, I like to take some Pledge and just wipe down the whole thing. When it does, it just really gives it a nice clean shine. You get that really dark green color come through with it. And most people don't know, but Xboxes are actually really dark green, not black.
Okay.
There you go, just putting some Pledge on, making it look all nice and shiny like new. Let's test it out and see if we got anything. Nope, power comes on. That's a good sign. Look at the screen here. Hey, there it is. It's alive. I'm gonna find a game and load that. And there it goes. Look at that. Nice, clean, working Xbox. No problem. I'll play a little Burnout 3.
Okay. Apart from Burnout Racing, you can also take part in the Burnout Crash Championship. Here's everything you need to know. Brought to you by me. I'm Striker right here on Crash FM. Burnout is all about risk and reward. Well, here's the ultimate risk and the ultimate reward. Carry your way into the busy traffic junction and slay through as much traffic as possible. When it's all over, we'll figure out how much damage you've caused, how many vehicles you've tagged, and give you a damage total. All you have to do is beat our damage predictions, and we'll let you on to the next junction. Oh, and to make things really interesting, we've placed some markers for you to hit with your wreck. If you can tag them, we'll give you dollar increases or decreases. And for the ultimate reward, trigger the crash breaker for an explosive surprise. Hey, I did say it was risk and reward. First one to hit the totals gets to try some of the other rides we've brought along. Okay, something new is Crash Aftertouch. If and when you crash, activate Impact Time. When you are in Impact Time, you can steer your wreck. How cool is that? Use Crash Aftertouch to gain Aftertouch takedowns, or to help you get to the places other crashers can't reach. This is Striker covering Crash on Crash FM.
guys, so that was a restoration of an original Xbox. Hope y'all enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe. Come see me on Facebook, and have a great day. Bye.